Tonight's story is 100% real and utterly horrifying. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button now, because what you're about to hear will stay with you long after the screen goes dark. In the summer of 1987, Debbie and Alan Talman found what they thought was their perfect family home in a quiet suburb of Madison, Wisconsin. It was a fresh start, a dream come true. But that dream quickly soured. Within weeks, their youngest son, barely old enough to speak in full sentences, began waking up in the middle of the night, screaming in pure terror. He'd point to the darkest corner of his room, his little body trembling, and talk about a red-eyed man who would just stand there, watching him sleep. At first, Debbie and Alan dismissed it as childish nightmares, the product of an overactive imagination in a new, unfamiliar house. But soon, the activity became impossible to ignore. It started small, unexplained noises, a feeling of being watched. Then, it escalated. Every night, like clockwork, just after 3 a.m., the house would come alive. Doors would slam shut with violent force, even when they were latched. Heavy furniture would scrape and shudder across the floorboards in the adjacent rooms. Objects would fly off shelves, and on one terrifying occasion, the family Bible, resting on the nightstand, spontaneously burst into flames. The line between imagination and a living nightmare had been obliterated. One night, drawn by a strange noise from the nursery, Alan peered in and saw it. A hulking black figure standing motionless over their baby's crib. He froze, his blood turning to ice. The final night was the breaking point. The oppressive atmosphere in the house had become a physical weight, a suffocating presence. Alan was woken by a deep, guttural voice that seemed to come from inside his own head. A chilling whisper that promised, "You're all mine now." That was it. In a frantic rush of adrenaline and fear, he and Debbie grabbed their children, not even stopping to put on shoes. They fled into the cold night, leaving everything behind: their clothes, their furniture, their photos, their entire life. They never set foot in that house again. To this day, the house still stands, abandoned and decaying on that quiet suburban street. No one has lived there since the Talmans fled. Locals who dare to walk past it after dark report strange occurrences. Lights flicker on and off in the empty rooms. And sometimes, if you look up at the second floor window, you might just see a face looking back down at you. This is true fear, where the most terrifying stories are the ones that actually happened. If this story chilled you to the bone, be sure to like, comment, and share. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because real horror never sleeps. Be careful tonight. You never know what's watching from the dark.